'n stukkie klein
Struggled with
veertjies
that
en
the
dan
last
so
time,
gras.
remember?
O, okay. En ek dink toe dat ek op die teer lag,
Yeah.
want ek ken nie die vliegtuig nie, dat ek maar dit
We are live, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the President's Trophy Air Race 2022 live stream podcast. I am sitting here with a esteemed bunch of gentlemen. I know they don't look that way.
It's cold.
It's very cold and it is a little bit late, and we've had a long day out there. But I am joined here tonight, and thank you very much for your guests, for your accommodation, guys. To my far left, I've got Jonty Esser. Jonty Esser is an esteemed rally flyer. He's achieved Protea status on the South African flying team a number of times. Thank you very much for joining us, Jonty.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Honored to be here.
Excellent. And right in the middle over here, we have Heinrich Slubber from Holborn Assets. Heinrich is a headline sponsor for the President's Trophy Air Race, as well as the Speed Rally season going into the rest of the year for 2022. So thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to a long and fruitful relationship. Heinrich, welcome.
Thanks, David.
Nice, good. And to my right, we have Leon Joubert, also an esteemed rally flying and racing aficionado. Leon has built a number of airplanes in his life, is a very accomplished aviator, and actually flies the Lance Air 4, Lance Air EX.
ESX.
Lance Air ESX,
Yep.
one of the fastest airplanes on the racing field for this race and all the other ones. So yeah, very, very good to have you. Thank you, Leon, for joining us.
Thank you, David. All I can say is to my left, we have David Leroux, one of the most enthusiastic supporters of this sport. And we love you for being what you are and what you're doing for us.
Thank you very much indeed. We really appreciate the appreciation. And yes, I'm David Leroux. All right, so very quickly, we're going to switch to a message from our headline sponsor, Holborn Assets. Take it away, guys.
Well, thanks, David.
Stand by.
Supporting the President's Trophy Air Race and the speed rallies across the country, our sponsors are instrumental in growing general aviation in South Africa, thus supporting talented up-and-coming pilots to be airborne more often and to excel. SAPFA introduces our brand new gold sponsor for 2022. Heinrich Slubber, Senior Partner with Holborn Management Services, which is part of the Holborn Assets Group of Companies. Holborn has clients in 30 countries across the globe, over 3 billion assets under management, and cares about the safety and security of our clients' money. With more than 20 years' experience in bond trading, derivatives, and forex instruments, Heinrich understands the offshore wealth business. He is also an experienced risk manager and focuses on risk identification, measurement, and mitigation. Heinrich combines all of this with his earlier experience in personal finance and wealth consultation. This gives him an edge when approaching your needs with regard to business and personal financial planning. Contact Heinrich Slubber on 082 331 8990 or Heinrich Slubber at holbornassets.com. Holborn, the right money at the right place at the right time.
Hey, we're nearly back online. Indeed. Thank you very, very much, Holborn. That was a great message. As you can see, we're improvising a lot of this, and this is really what Race Weekend is about. There is obviously a very, very, very strong and fast and strict protocol that we run the whole race by, but the whole theme of this thing is just to have fun and to get out there and enjoy the camaraderie with the guys and the girls and the father and son teams that take part in all of the that take part in this race. So I think the first question and the first bit of chatting that I want to do is we'll go from the far left over there. Jonty, to you, give us a little bit of background about who you are and what sparked your interest in rally and competition flying.
Thanks, David. So I've been doing rally flying for very long, and I was introduced to a very interesting crowd of racing pilots, and I never had racing in my blood. Mine was more about precision and navigation and so forth. And when I met the racers, I saw the enthusiasm going with these guys, and it's unbelievable the bantering, the camaraderie, the sportsmanship, the competition. It's just was just a different level of flying, and that's what got me involved in racing. And I love the racing now, and I have my pilot on the very far right. I don't know if it's your left, but I believe it's my right, army right. But yeah,
Well,
Leon,
navigator.
yeah. So you can clearly see why we don't win.
He's worrying already.
Well, we have a lot of fun, and I think the whole idea is there's that element of competition, but there's also the friend and the like-minded people getting together, understanding aviation, understanding pushing a little bit of limits. We all know that if you don't push limits, you're not going to go anywhere. So, and the races do that, and the platform that is now provided by the PTR since who knows when. It's just been
1937, actually, eh?
yeah. I was never good at history. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't born there.
yeah. It was way before my time. But
Yeah.
I mean, the races have come, and it's. I think it's something that sits within us as people who want to achieve things. You challenge yourself, set the bar high. If you meet it, you move on to the next challenge, which is the higher bar, and then we end up with PTR.
Yeah.
And somebody that carries around a green blazer. You can be anybody. You can be a young pilot that wants to achieve something with a navigator that doesn't even have to have a pilot's license, and you can come and fly this race, and you can actually win it.
Yeah.
And it's not nice for us esteemed pilots when these buggers actually do that. But we take the knock on the chin, see what they're doing different to us, and we have to improve ourselves. So it's always a challenge, and it's a lovely race to be part of. It's a lovely format. The format has changed over the years, but it's changed for the better. I mean, aircraft have got more technology in, and we have to adapt to that. And it has adapted, and it's adapted rightfully so. That the race is very tight. I mean, just last year in Ermelo, Leon and myself, we turned 15 seconds on one turn point. Day one, we were second in the race. Day two, we 15 seconds later, and we literally ended up something like, I think, 180th, because there was
They were
like
110.
yeah. So so one small mistake, and that's how accurate it is and how competitive it is. So I'm appealing to any students, pilots out there that want to come and race with us. Don't be afraid, because we are these esteemed pilots. We also get beaten to the ground, and we have to eat a little bit of humble pie, sometimes a lot. And we take it on the chin, and we have to learn from the guys that are out there. So it's just a beautiful, awesome, competitive, tough. It's not easy, but we will teach you, and we will make you aware of how to do it. And then come join us.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like you say. I mean, it's an awesome format of racing, and you don't, like John T says, you can be a 100-hour pilot with a PPL, and your navigator has to have not even a pilot's license, and you can come along and enjoy the race, and it's really, really an awesome thing. So I 100% agree with you, and would like to reiterate John T's message. If you're thinking about coming along and racing, do it. Get in touch. Come along, bring your airy, or hire an airy, and come here and join in the camaraderie and also and the awesome fun that we have. What would you say, Leon?
If you think that flying airplanes in a race is for pilots and people with, enough money to do this kind of thing, it's not. Life is exactly the same race. We all fly our own little lives through our little time, and this is just a crystallization of that, I suppose, in a manner where we use technology and experience and learning stuff. But life is exactly that. You have to live your life through the race of life, because there are many competitors. I suppose we can all agree, there are limited resources for people living their lives, yet we all want to live our lives. So make the best of what you can for the limited periods of time and resources that exist and make it fulfilling, make it worthwhile. That's basically all I can say.
I love it. Super philosophical, and it speaks
I
to
guess.
it speaks to the living spirit and the will to succeed in life. And I think that's more what you're talking about. And it's we've had races in the past and speed rally races in the past where we've got student pilots and guys that are not your ordinarily I'm going to say previously privileged type of people, and they've come along and entered these races and flipping had the best time. And I mean, we've got just at Pilot Insure, we've got a new client liaison officer, and Sipho Mangezi will tell you his story. I mean, he came from the village in Transkei, where the resources were super limited. And where is he today? He's a 500-hour commercial pilot instructor, and he'll tell you, in fact, he should probably come on the next podcast and tell you a story. But he saw these airplanes flying over from the village, and just from there made his way and made it possible for himself to do this thing. So I think
Right.
kind of going on there.
Right.
I'd like to focus our attention a little bit more to Heinrich, who's looking a little bit worried.
I'm thinking
Don't
what
worry,
you guys
Heinrich.
are saying.
He has no deep dude.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have no deep.
yeah.
Look, I think let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's take a step back and tell us, Heinrich, very quickly why you got involved with this President's Trophy. Maybe you can give us a 2-minute introduction about who you are and why you. How did you land up here in this seat? I think you're a little bit worried as to
No
going
bloody
on
way am I now going to
Tell
go
us.
lighter note. I'm going to follow on from Leon, and I'm going to
Oh,
go deep.
Are we
Yeah.
going to go deep?
Philosophy.
Okay,
So
there we
deep
go.
you won't even find me if you want looking. I mean, so why did we get involved? I think what Leon said was, flying and living your life and stuff like that. I think if I can use a metaphor as well, I think that's the right word, right? Mamba Burki. But a metaphor for our type of clients is really the fact that it's people that are willing to spread their wings, cross borders, look for new opportunities, see the horizon. With other words, I don't want to say people that don't work with us is short-sighted, but our clients are the type of people that pilots are, I think. Spreading their wings, going out there, finding open air and actually trying to see new opportunities. And I think that's actually a good metaphor for why we got involved here. Obviously, it was a challenge for me because I know very little about aeroplanes. So, I mean, my fellow guests here, I mean, and I've had so much fun already today just looking at all these aeroplanes and these little wheels. What's the thing you call that tailwind? What?
Tail wheel.
Tail wheel guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy doesn't look well to me. It doesn't look well, especially if you try and land on grass or whatever the case may be. What Jonty told me he tried to do once. So we are very excited, David, being involved with this. Auburn is a special kind of company.
Yeah.
And we work with special type of people. And I think in this I found special type of people that I would like to get to know better. So we're looking forward to the rest of the year and having good times with these guys that are, well, as far as I'm concerned, putting their lives at risk going up there. But
Wow.
they
Very calculated.
will probably not agree with me, but that's the way I feel. I'm a bit scared of flying myself, but anyway, that's the way it is.
Hey, het ons jou gesê jy sit agter in ons vliegtuig môre?
No shit, there's only two seats.
There's
Two
two.
seats in the back just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I read a joke a while back that what's the difference between a co-pilot and a duck? A duck knows how to fly. Now you want to put me in a plane with you guys? It's not going to happen.
Okay. True story.
The pilot that said, is the co-pilot seat always occupied by an idiot? But he has also been a co-pilot
Before.
many times.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Very nice. I think I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the field and who the competitors are. John T, have you done a little bit of a deep dive there? Who are you looking to maybe rival against or?
Us.
Yeah, that's exactly my sentiment.
Just looked at it and he shit scared.
That's why my pilot is there and I'm here.
Yeah. We actually
Yeah,
split them up.
I would say
purpose.
your biggest threat is Leon Hubert and John Tiesa in the Lancer Super ES. Non-retractable,
Built by now.
180 knot aeroplane, but it brings its own challenges. You know, Leon gets distracted very easily,
Okay.
as I do, and we've all figured out that my left and right is obviously not what I say. So, but we have a lot of fun, and I think the emphasis should be on the competitive nature, but as well as the fun. In the field, we've got some serious contenders. You've got guys that are coming through the ranks that are serious about their flying. And then we've got the guys that have been flying for many years that have got huge experience, and I admire them for adopting the change of the format. And specifically like the likes of Dr. Ivan Mox and John Sayers. These guys have done races before I was even born.
Yeah.
And I respect them so much and honor being with them and just be having the privilege of being in their, in their circles. These guys have got experience of note, and I think you mustn't put them away. I think this year, yeah, it might be a little different.
Yeah.
The Foster planes are going to come in. The format is good. The weather is not that good though. However, we don't fly the prediction; we fly the condition. So, so we'll see how it goes. But I think there's a serious field. I see a lot of guys coming up with some serious plans. In particular, my good friend Eric Addison, he got himself a very good pilot.
Yep.
Johan van Sail. They got a good plane, it's capable.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very, very interesting race to watch, especially day two.
Yeah.
Day one is going to set up the field. Day two is going to be where the hammer comes down.
Sure.
And Leon and myself are actually hoping that we only have to race one day, because on history, if we go back on our history, if we race one day, we do well. The second day is not so good. So, but I think the field is great. I think the guys that have made the effort to get you in these circumstances, I think I think we've got a tough time ahead of us.
I completely agree, and I think I'm super impressed about the commitment that everybody has made to this. I mean, we haven't got the biggest field historically of what the President's Trophy has been, but there are many circumstances as to why that might be. But out of everybody, there were only two teams that couldn't arrive today. They literally got stuck. The weather was unplayable, and the commitment is there. I mean, everybody still came to Bloem. We're here at Tempe, and whether we race over 2 days or 1 day, I think we're still going to have a flippin' amazing weekend. And man, I think more to your point as well, John T. I mean, if we look at John Sayers flying in his Harvard, he's had 34 races before.
Yeah,
34
that's
races.
how old I am.
Yeah, that's nearly as old as me. Yeah.
Yeah.
34 President's Trophy. I don't think anyone can actually understand what that means.
David, Jonty said earlier, the privilege of being in this environment with these people, and it's not going anywhere different from what I earlier said about life and how I see it. But we are privileged to be in the company of people that have flown aeroplanes, have learned the skills, have taken the effort. It's not an easy task. The laws of physics are non-debatable. You have to follow them. If you don't, they will let you know that you made a mistake. And we are in the company of people like that have done this all their lives and have understood that, and are people to look up to. And maybe if there are young people watching this, I can hope, I can try and give them a little bit of forward look and say, look at the folks that have made the things work for them. I can mention people like Elon Musk and so many other people, Nikola Tesla, and all the greats of invention and understanding of life. And I'm getting philosophical, but I'm just saying, thank you, Johnny. We're privileged to be in your company.
In your
In your
company.
company. I see we've got two Bosbooks in the race, so there's a head-to-head Bosbook race and exactly the same machine. So that's going to be very interesting to see Dr. Ivan Marks, and I think it is
RP and Friedrich.
And RP and Friedrich, but who's Davy Brits and Ivan Marks flying together, and then father and son team RP and Friedrich and their Bosbook. We've got two Lance Airs, not really a head-to-head kind of race in that, eh?
Not at all, no.
No, that's the Lancia 2000 is it's a two-seater as opposed to your four-seater, a very slippery machine that I think their handicap is 222 knots around
Against
the
our
race.
170 odd knots. No, but give us a few years, we'll have another little Lance in the circuit
Yeah.
to challenge Dieter. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Dieter.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the patience prize goes to Dieter because he has to wait for at least everybody to nearly finish the race before he can even take off, and then he has to try and catch up with everybody. But yeah, man, I see a couple of rookies, not many. We've got Peter Lund. Peter Lund is a instructor from Blue Chip Aviation, and he's flying with his mate Duane Erasmus in a Charlie 210. And that is Zulu Sierra Charlie Delta, a very nice machine. I mean, a 210 is everyone's classic airplane. Yeah, man, lots of father and son teams. We've got Phil and Scott Wakely, who, like we said, Arfie and Friedrich. I see Derek Reinhardt's making a return to the field. He's flying with Michael Heffel and flying in a 182. So good to see even guys like Derek coming along and enjoying the weekend. I think that's a very cool thing. So yeah, man,
David,
I
don't
think we're
forget Hendrik and Jan Rey.
Yeah.
Hendrik and Jan Rey.
They're
Father
probably
and
the
son.
guys to beat. I know
Yeah.
Leon Batel is a great navigator, pilot, all over aviator, but the father and son team of Hendrik and Jan Rey Lewis,
Yeah.
they've beaten me many times. You as well, Joti.
Yeah, bro. And
Watch them.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
dedicated and they focused and they work things out. They do the sums, they do the math, they do the
Yeah, yeah.
So watch them.
But don't forget Johan Whiteman and his son Quentin.
Yes.
Oh,
So you've got this field is very challenging. If you get in the top 24, you're probably good.
don't set the bar too low.
Oh, how many are there? 36.
36.
If you get in the top 36, you're great.
That's what the guy
you
from
finish yeah.
November X-Ray Golf was saying. I can't remember his name here, but anyway, he was saying if we just come 35th, that's 20 places more ahead than last time. So they they just have to beat one team. But yeah, I mean, like you say, Hendrik was on our show, the second show that we had, and I think if you're a repeat viewer, you will actually remember him. Also, a very enthusiastic pilot. But like Leon says, you put in the hard yards, you put in the practice, you're going to get there, you know. And they're flying a good airplane, a Sling 2, Zulu uniform, India Hotel X-ray. Yeah, man, definitely a team to look out for, I would say.
India Hotel Killer.
India Hotel Kilo. Thank you very much, John.
No, you don't forget the guys who beat you.
That's a funny point. When we're flying the race, we have got race numbers, but they're on the left of the aeroplane, but we're supposed to pass on the right, which is convention. But if you pass on the right, you don't see the race number. And many times you also don't see the registration number. And so you're passing this guy and there are many guys in the field and you say, well, I'm passing you, but who am I passing? I can't see his race number. I can't see his registration number. It's just, what do we say? We got to pass on the right, but if you're going to be going in a turn that's to the right, you're going to pass on the inside turn, which is unfair. You're cutting him out. So I'm not reflecting anything on the rules. The rules are brilliant. The stuff that Rob Yonkers does to create this race and this format is just magnificent. We have to take all our hats off to him. And the way that, and Jonty had a large role to play. I'm going too far again, but I'm just saying that there's some issues that we've got to, there are always issues that you've got to contend with that are not laid down in a little manual for you to follow, that you have to use a little login to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, just going on that. So there's three crucial elements that make this work. The first thing is the sponsors. Heinrich,
Yes.
dankie baie. Ons waardeer dit opreg. Sonder jou gebeur hierdie goed nie. So dit is die ja, jy kan my later betaal. Ja, okay. Dis die een sorry. Dis die een element. So that's one element. The second element is the races. They play a crucial role because without the races, there's no race. But third, and probably the most effort that goes in, is from the crew that are in the background, like the likes of all the officials that run around at our beck and call. They do everything to make sure that we are happy. And trust me, entitled pilots are never happy. So I would like to thank all three elements, the crews, the sponsors, and the guys in the background. And I know how much work it takes. David, you know now how much work it takes.
I tell you,
So-
Jonty, I couldn't agree more. I would like to actually thank, just on that note, the Bloemfontein Flying Club
Absolutely.
for putting up this race and being the host. You know, it's not an easy thing to be a host club, but I really found, in dealing with a couple of host clubs that we've had in the past, it really elevates the club and it creates a lovely atmosphere and brings the guys together. So thank you, Marius. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, all the guys from Bloemfontein side, Wally, Dion, all the guys that we've had to deal with. It's really, really been amazing. In fact, just to get this setting in here, you must understand that we had to get a little bit of clearance, especially to get all the cameras and the lights and all that kind of thing. Marius, thanks again for playing ball. We really appreciate you.
And it's Bloemfontein, so I know.
Yeah.
Chris and Penny.
So, but don't forget the organization behind it. You know, SAFA, the South African Powered Flying Association, is one of the oldest associations in South Africa.
Okay.
And it's run by people that they do not get any remuneration for whatever efforts they do. So it's purely run by passion. And that passion costs each individual literally money. And they do it. And I've done it for many years, and there's a lot of people that continue to do it. And, you know, for me, it's just about appreciating the fact that we have this platform and the people out there willing to enable entitled pilots and crews like myself and Leon to rock up, moan about handicaps, moan about the food, moan about the weather, moan about everything, and they still do it with a smile the next race.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. So hats off, thanks to everyone that's putting the effort in. I mean, there's people that travel from afar to get here to help us.
And some of us drive here, not fly here,
Yeah.
just by the way.
Well, you have a seat in our aeroplane, but you opted not to take it. So yeah, so that's just my gratification. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. I know Leon, he loves the flying. He's very competitive, and that's why I like him as a pilot. And I steal him from Sandy on the PTR.
Yeah.
And it goes against his grain because even outside he was saying, no, we just swap out Sandy. Sandy comes and flies with me, and I'm like, gone. So, but I love flying with Leon. He's an excellent pilot. He's a esteemed aerobatic pilot. He actually was on the crew for with Glenn Dell with the Red Bull Air Racing as an engineer.
Right.
So he is he's somebody that I'm privileged to be in the company of. Thanks, Leon.
Absolutely. I think we all are.
Good.
Knows one or two things about aerodynamics. Hey?
We're figuring them out slowly, yeah.
We'll see tomorrow.
See tomorrow. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then as an outsider looking in, Heinrich, what would you say about all this passion and what does it make you feel, and give us
Madness.
some of the feedback.
Madness. Madness. Racing aeroplanes doesn't make sense.
Well,
At least they're not on the ground, because that would be fun to watch. Put them on a racetrack. Now that would be fun to watch with all these planes going like that. No, I mean, obviously, like Leon said, you know, it's a passion. People do stuff for different reasons, not always for money or honor or prestige or anything like that. And like Jonty says, you know, there are so many other people that work so hard that we don't see, and we don't often even know about, actually. They just keep on doing it. So for me, it's really epitomizes the whole thing. because people are willing to sacrifice certain things. I'm sure it costs everybody a packet of money to be here this weekend, with fuel prices going the way they are, just time wise actually, and then all the rest of it goes with it. Yeah, at least we've got free water, but I mean, otherwise everything is no, 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 no,
Sponsored water.
no, David,
Sponsored
like I
by
said,
you.
no, for sure. He said,
Yes.
"It's my water."
Yes. Best
Anyway,
tasting water out.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's
Have a
your
sweet.
drink.
Cheers to our sponsors. Hold
Now
on.
you're making me
There we go,
embarrassed.
There we go.
No, no, David, like I said, as an outsider, and yes, you are right, I'm still an outsider in this, but I'm so looking forward to get to know some of the guys better on a personal level, because I mean, everybody just seems like real gentlemen and great guys. And yes, I'm sure flying is a serious business. I'm sure it's serious when you get up there, because you can mess around on the ground as much as you like, but I don't suppose you do it up there.
Yeah.
But then,
Tow
I mean, the
trucks are
guys that I've
scarce.
met so far on the ground, just normal, nice guys, have a chat. No, or something like that's another pun. Shit.
Airs and
Yeah,
graces.
no airs and graces, So all that stuff. So for me, it looks wonderful. I'm looking forward to get to know more about this stuff.
Lekker. And
Yeah.
we're looking forward to welcoming you in.
Yeah.
The whole weekend. We've got a very lekker program lined up. So we'll get all of you guys, all the
Yeah.
sponsors involved nicely. In fact, tomorrow night we've got a quiz night, which is going to be.
It's not going to be about airplanes.
It's 100,000,000% about
No,
airplanes.
that's not fair. Now, what about us outsiders? What do we say? You can ask me how many.
Sit net naby Leon.
Moet by ons
Yeah,
wees.
I was
But-
gonna
but-
it's
yeah,
not
but
on your team.
You
Yeah.
said
Yeah, absolutely.
help with anything else except for aeroplane questions.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good
I'll
start.
try.
Yeah,
I'll try,
sure.
yeah.
Let's go for
I'll
it.
try.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice one. Being
No, no,
being
for
brought in, being part of the family.
Yeah.
We look forward to
And
welcoming you.
I think another thing, David, at the end of the day, you know what? The weather will always be what the weather is.
Mm.
It's like whether you're playing golf or whether you want to go on your bike ride or whatever, the weather will be what it is. Shit, if the guys can't fly tomorrow, then we'll do something else. We'll just
Exactly.
put up a program for them and have fun. Do a boeredag,
Yeah.
sakresies, some whatever.
Something.
We are here.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened on this airfield back in the old days, but I mean, now we can do something else if we can't fly.
Do you know something we don't know, Hendrik,
Yeah.
about this airfield?
Heinrich actually studied here in Bloemfontein, so he obviously knows a
does.
lot more than we
Yeah,
do.
students wouldn't come closer. The army was a different story. No, we used to frequent Naval Hill. That's I think the White Horse is still a Naval Hill. I hope it is. I'll go and check.
Yeah.
Anyway, so no, I'm sure we'll find something else to do if the weather's bad.
Yeah.
Weather's what the weather is.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
No yield.
Mm.
No yield.
Yield.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So yeah, thanks again to Holborn being our lead sponsor. Thank you so much
We're proud.
for that. We do have other sponsors on board. We've got DJA Aviation Insurance. We've got Pilot Insure. I'm from Pilot Insure. I'm sure you all know. And we've also got Aircraft Finance Corporation, all pitching in and making this event possible. So I think if we can roll just to one video for Aircraft Finance Corporation, and then we'll come back to that. Back to the chats. I think we've nearly running out of time, and but yeah, I'm looking forward to the quiz evening tomorrow. I'm looking for a good race.
Who's the quiz master? You.
We haven't decided yet. I think France might take on that
Okay.
role tomorrow. I'm already race master. I'm already podcast master. I'm already
You're just
MC
master.
master.
life
You're
insurance.
just a
MC
master.
Just a master.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, I have very big shoes to fill, John.
Yeah.
Can only be one Kenobi.
I
Yeah,
have
one.
very big shoes to fill. Okay, we're rolling with the Aircraft Finance Corporation video. Thank you very much, Yaku and your team.
Can I be excused? Oh, we're not live.
Sure. Callum?
No, this is only like 40 seconds.
Oh, that's gonna finish.
You definitely can't smoke.
Why not?
No, we don't want to smoke.
Oh.
No, that's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Birthday bombs. Like,
Okay. And we're back. Thank you very much, Aircraft Finance Corporation. And yeah, I think that kind of sums it up for us. We're going to go now and get some dinner. And thanks again for everybody for your participation. And Jonty, we look forward to a lacquer race with you. And Leon, when I heard you two are flying it together again, I said, oof, that's going to be a team to reckon with. So let's see how it goes. Hey?
Yeah, well, we'll
Fly
see.
well. Fly well.
We'll just fly well.
Keep
Well, Leon must fly well. And if he doesn't listen to me, he probably has a better chance of winning. But thank you, Dave. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, David, for all the effort you put in. It's really appreciated. And I'm also super excited to hear more about the main sponsors. I had a little chat with Heinrich outside, and I was really, really impressed. I think what they're doing is something that what goes to Leon, what he said about the philosophy. It's the vision forward, that having the edge. And I think with them, you'll have that vision and the edge of the little chat that we had outside.
Very nice. Yeah,
May I have one last word then?
of course.
Not last word. You can talk obviously if you want to. Just thanks to you as well, because all the things that we've spoken about needs a catalyst. And as from my experience so far with this, you are the catalyst. You bring everything together. You bring all the loose ends together to make it happen as well. So I think thanks to Pilot and Sure obviously as well. You can talk about us, so we can talk about you as well. So thanks, David, and France, and all your team. Thanks, guys.
Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Heinrich. Very nice. All right. I want to remind everybody, well, actually, we are for the first time ever going to be live streaming. So similar to this, on the Saturday race, on the final day race, we are going to be live streaming the takeoffs. So please, we will be sharing a link out on this group and as far and wide as possible. So we'll be live streaming the takeoffs with commentary, probably by your commentary master, yours truly. And then we'll be showing a very cool summary video for a couple of minutes while the aircraft are out on the track. And then for the last 10 or 15 minutes before the aircraft come back and all cross the line together, we'll be live streaming that. So please be sure to tune in for that. That is again sponsored by our headline sponsors, Holborn, AFC, DJA, and Pilot Insure. So yeah, don't forget to look at that. Yeah, man, it's going to be super exciting. I think that's it. We've got a fantastic weekend ahead of us. And thank you very much for tuning in. And we look forward to chatting with you again. Thanks, my guests.
Thanks. Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Good night.
Cheers.
Be fun.
Thanks.
Thanks, Leon. Nice.
Fly well.
Damn it, why are you wearing that? It's not sunshine.
And you
He
need
doesn't have dark.
I've seen dressing.
Be bad.
I'll say.